In Western societies, the narrative around marriage and infidelity often centers on the idea that if a man is deeply dissatisfied in his marriage, or if he has developed feelings for another woman, the logical outcome is that he will eventually leave his wife to pursue the new relationship. It's a storyline that appears in movies, television shows, and even in the advice offered by friends and family. The reality, however, is much more nuanced and considerably less romantic. Despite feeling disconnected, unfulfilled, or even openly resentful in their marriages, many men choose to stay. They continue to share a home with their wives, raise children together, and maintain the facade of a functional partnership, even as their emotional lives drift elsewhere. So why do so many men remain in unhappy marriages, even when they have found passion or connection outside of it? The answers lie deep within our social conditioning, cultural expectations, and the complex psychology of relationships. First, it's important to dispel the myth that staying in a marriage means a man still loves his wife. For many, remaining in the marriage has little to do with love and everything to do with duty, convenience, and fear of upheaval. These men may tell themselves and others that they are doing the right thing by staying for the sake of their children or fulfilling their responsibilities as a provider. They tend to measure their success as husbands not by the presence of love or intimacy, but by their ability to maintain stability, keeping a roof over their families' heads, showing up at family events, and ensuring that the outward image of family life remains intact. This points to another, often overlooked truth. Love was not always the foundational reason many men married in the first place. While Western culture loves to champion the idea of marrying for love, many men approach marriage pragmatically. They may commit because the timing feels right, because their social circle expects it, or because they believe their partner will make a good mother and stable companion. Rarely do they interrogate whether they are truly deeply in love, or if their partner is the person they cannot imagine living without. As a result, when love or passion fades, it doesn't necessarily trigger a crisis or a call for radical change. If love wasn't the primary reason for marrying, it doesn't become the primary reason for leaving. So what keeps men from leaving, even when they are unhappy or entangled in an affair? There are three central reasons. The first is fear of starting over. Divorce is not just an emotional event. It's a logistical, financial, and social earthquake. Houses, retirement accounts, and years of accumulated possessions must be split. Custody of children becomes a negotiation, with the ever-present threat of loss and alienation. The thought of dismantling a life built over decades, with all its routines and relationships, is overwhelming. The prospect of beginning again, with someone new, in a new home, under new circumstances, can feel not like liberation, but like a daunting leap into the unknown. For many men, the comfort of the familiar, even if it is unsatisfying, is preferable to the chaos of change. The second reason is the fear that the new relationship will not live up to its promise. Affairs are often fueled by secrecy, novelty, and the thrill of escape. The lover is seen through the lens of desire and fantasy, in sharp contrast to the wife, who may now be associated with routine, responsibility, and conflict. But deep down, many men worry that once the affair is exposed to the harsh light of day-to-day life, the excitement will fade and the same patterns of disappointment or disconnection will emerge. They are haunted by the cautionary tale of the grass is always greener, that the new woman will eventually become just as ordinary, demanding, or unhappy as the wife they left behind. The third and perhaps most powerful reason is concern for their children. In Western cultures, men are increasingly invested in their roles as fathers. Divorce threatens to disrupt these bonds, reducing time with children and introducing new dynamics with step-parents and blended families. The fear that their children will suffer emotionally or that they themselves will become estranged from those they love most can be paralyzing. It is not uncommon for men to endure years of dissatisfaction in order to avoid the pain of seeing their children hurt or angry, or to prevent themselves from becoming a weekend dad. Beneath all of these reasons lies a core aspect of male psychology: the prioritization of stability over passion. men are often conditioned to value reliability, predictability, and a sense of order in their lives. They may crave excitement and validation, but they also fear the loss of structure and the security that comes from a long-term partnership. As a result, many men compartmentalize, seeking passion and adventure outside the marriage while preserving the comfort and order of home life. The idea of burning down the entire structure for a new beginning feels not just risky but profoundly destabilizing. This dynamic has significant implications for both the wife and the other woman. For wives, there is often a temptation to believe that if they try hard enough, they can win back their husband's love or outcompete the mistress. For the lover, there may be hope that patience and devotion will eventually lead to a new life together. But in reality, the man is often paralyzed by inertia. He rarely leaves. If he does, the problems that plagued the first marriage are likely to reappear in the second, as the fundamental issues, fear, avoidance, and the need for stability, remain unaddressed. For women caught in this triangle, the healthiest choice is to step back from the competition. True power comes not from clinging harder or fighting for a reluctant partner, but from reclaiming agency, choosing peace, self-respect, and a life defined on one's own terms. Walking away, whether as wife or lover, is not a loss. It is a declaration of self-worth and a refusal to participate in a dynamic that is stacked against true happiness. Ultimately, the pattern of men remaining in unhappy marriages reveals a deeper truth about human behavior. Most people, men included, are motivated not by bold passion, but by the quieter, more persistent forces of fear and comfort. They are more likely to endure dissatisfaction than gamble on the unknown. For women, waiting for a man to finally choose change is often a recipe for disappointment. The real freedom comes from making that choice for oneself. In the end, staying doesn't mean loving. It means settling, often for less than both partners deserve. True dignity is found not in being chosen, but in choosing oneself and in finding the courage to pursue happiness, even if it means walking away.